Hey everyone, Captain Amazing here, and today I'm going to go over the basics of what mods are and why they're important. So if you like this content, go ahead and like and subscribe. Otherwise, let's jump into it. So mods are important in this game. Primarily, the main focus of what mods are, and there are exceptions of course, is speed. This is a role-playing game with speed elements in it. So the faster your characters are, the more likely they are to take a turn and then continue taking turns more than your enemy. So if you look at a character, you can scroll down in this speed. So the white number is the total speed that they act at. This teal-ish number is how much speed additionally is being added through your mods. So if you look over here, we have a primary arrow that has speed, and then we have these other types of mods that have speed in the secondary. Speed in the secondary is going to show up as a goldish color compared to this other bluish kind of color because it highlights the importance of what makes mods important, which is speed. There's other reasons why you have or need mods. So damage done, offense, defense, health, protection, pretty much how much damage you can do and how much damage you can survive. There's other things like debuffs and the ability to resist those debuffs between potency and tenacity, and we'll cover that later. But the main reason why these mods are important are speed. Speed can change the difference of your characters going through and taking 0 damage through a battle or you losing that battle. Speed is usually the defining factor. If we did not have mods in this game, then we would be lacking an incredible depth between the characters, and they would all be cookie cutter, and then we would have to use one type of character to counter another type of character, and there would be no variation. We would have to rely on coin flips. So speed allows players to change, or especially with mods allow players to change the ability of the way these characters interact with each other and their team, so that you can build a better roster than your opponent. Because if you have the better mods, you're going to have a huge advantage in this game. So let's go ahead and talk about levels. So levels in this game determine the bonuses between mods. So if you go here to enhance, you'll see that a gray mod, which is the lowest level of classification of mod, reveals at level 3, reveals at level 6, reveals at level 9, reveals at level 12. So those are the secondary stats. So we just know this square has 4 chances of having secondary stats. So if you look here, if we reveal all stats to 12, then that'll reveal all 4 of the stats here. Otherwise, if you reveal it to level 3 and you hit upgrade, then it's going to reveal 1 stat. So plus 5 speed. Actually, that's a wonderful stat. Ideally, that's exactly what we're looking for. That is the best roll that we could get on this mod, is 5 speed on there. Maybe 6, but you can't get 6 initially on these rolls when you reveal them. Those are more, you could only purchase a level or a 6 speed mod. But essentially that's exactly what we're looking for here, is we are looking for speed in our mods. So if we reveal to level, or if we upgrade this to level 6, it's going to reveal another second stat. So tenacity, normally tenacity is a more defensive stat. It allows for a mod to not, or allow for debuffs to not stick. It's kind of an all or nothing thing, but it's too advanced for the level of what we're doing here. But I'm also using credits. If you can see here, credits is a huge factor for upgrading these mods. So when I go to level 9, as you can see, it's progressively getting more expensive each mod that we're working. And you could potentially be working hundreds of mods a week. So this amount of credits that you're spending is very expensive, and it kind of adds up. It's worth it though. So you absolutely have to be investing in your mods. So if we upgrade it one more time to level 9, then we get another one. So another defensive stat. All these are percent of stats. I can find a home for this mod. It's not ideal, but it's also not the worst. So we'll go more into the secondary stats later. But as you can see here, we're now going up to where before it was 19K, now it's almost 50K for that final 12. So when you're working a lot of mods, I recommend, if you're very new to the game and you are in that credit crunch where you're just working the streets to find as much credits as you can, I would recommend bringing up your gray mods only to level 6. And if you hit a speed secondary stat, then you can continue and keep it and save it into your mod inventory, take it up to level 15, find a home for it. Otherwise, for those who have a little more income, you can do level 9. And those who are just like balling, hey, go ahead and take it to 12. It's fine. That gives you the most opportunity to see if you have a good mod. Otherwise, since I already hit the speed here and I know I'm going to upgrade this, I'll upgrade this to level 12. So protection. So again, like 3 defensive stats. So it's unfortunate that that's how this landed. I can find a home for this because believe it or not, like CLS, their team, they have offense, they want tenacity, they need speed. So I can find a home for this mod. Not ideal, but all percent of stats are good. You want percent stats. And again, we're going to go over this. And then as you can see, level 15, it costs the most. So 162K to take this to level 15. And you can't level up this mod anymore unless you take it to level 15. And also when you take it to level 15, you're going to see here, it opens up the ability to slice it. We're not going to slice right now, but I'm going to go back. I'll lock this for right now because, no, I'm not going to lock it. Yeah, I'll go ahead and unlock it. I'll work this later. But real quick, I guess, the lock mod mechanism. So if you have a mod that you don't want to accidentally sell, go ahead and hit this lock button right here in the corner. And then if you decide later on, it's not something I want to keep, you can go ahead and unlock it. And what that does is it does not allow the game to sell your mod. It's good if you have your great mods that you invest in that hit stats that you want. Go ahead and lock them. It's worth doing. It takes a second just to click this little button right here in the bottom right hand corner, and it'll save you from selling your mods. So if you go here, you see the set bonus. So 7.5%. So if I had a mod right here, and see this is an offense mod and it has a set bonus which you need 4 mods on, and we'll go over that later. But if this mod wasn't level 15, I would not get a 15% set bonus for offense. I would only get that 7.5%. So when you're equipping your mods, they have to be level 15. Otherwise, they're not going to have that full set bonus. All right. So we're going to move on now that I've explained speed, kind of what you want, and the levels and the importance of the levels. I do want to go over into real quick these. So we'll go over these later, but essentially, as you can see, we have different colors of mods. You're going to have different requirements for upgrading these levels. So for a blue mod, you can see level 6 will reveal all those stats. For a purple mod, level 3 will reveal all those stats. And then for a green mod down here, level 9 will reveal all those stats. So for green, blues, and purples, I go ahead and level them with this. And you can check my mod filter guides on how to build these filters that I'm using. But when I go here, I go to manage mods, and I I select all, upgrade, and then I can hit reveal all secondary stats on this batch upgrade mods, and it makes it really quick on when I work my mods, because these mods, I don't want to specifically say 3, 6, 9, 12, because they're different level of mods. I have purple mods in here, I have blue mods in here, I have green mods in here. So when I reveal and upgrade all these stats, you want to do that so that you aren't wasting credits, because you may have a purple mod where after you reveal all their stats, it's a garbage mod. You want to sell it. You don't want to take it all the way up to level 12 because you already know that it's a garbage mod. So that's why for green, blues, and purples, you just reveal all the stats instead of specifically choosing the level that you want. Once you reveal all those stats, then you can go in and sell all the mods that don't have speed secondaries, unless they're tenacity, which we'll go over later. All right, so that's levels. Let's talk about dots. So dots in a mod right here, as you can see, it's a little hard to see, but it's 6 dots. So these you can tell more of because the gold border, it's like shinier, it's sexier, right? It has that nice gleam to it, but it's 6 dots. If you go over to any other one of these, so if we go down to Mark 5, Mark 5 has 5 dots. And then if we go down here to Mark 1 to 4, somehow I acquired some. So these mods are garbage. Mods 1 to 4 you sell. If you have mods that have some speed secondaries on them and they're okay, still sell them. There's other things like they will never get better. You get a weaker set bonus to it. You get less potential stats on them overall. They're not worth keeping. I don't care what the mod is. If it's 1 through 4 dots, sell it, unless you are coming up through the game. If you just hit level 50 and you're climbing up to level 85 and you don't have access reliably to 5 dot mods, then go ahead and work these mods 1 to 4 the best you can. Get some mods on your account, because you still have to get through that early game, kind of the tutorial phase. But once you get access to 5 dot mods, you will never work these again, and you just sell them. So you manage all these, and then you sell these absolute garbage mods, and you never work them again. So that's the importance of dots. So when you go to later on in the game, when you start working these mods, you can slice 5 dot mods, which let's go to work A's. So here, we haven't really gone through slicing yet, but when you slice these mods, if I would slice this 5 dot mods that's gold, then it would turn into a 6 dot mod. So that's how you get 6 dot mods into your account. You don't just receive them, you have to create them. But we'll go over into that later. But first, let's just go over the colors and the numbers of all these mods. So let's go to working gray. So gray mods are E mods. So they can be called 5E mods, even 6 dot mods. If I go here down to my mods, and I have 6 and 5. So you can have 5E mods and 6E mods. I don't have a lot of 6E mods, so that's why you can't see them. Hold on, let's turn on all primaries here. And then I'm sure I have some 6. Nope, I do not. So I don't have any 6E mods because it's so cheap to slice. I just slice them the one time. But if you look here, it still says 15C. So in this bottom right here underneath a mod, that's the level of the mod on the left. And on the right, that number, it'll be E, D, C, B, or A, and that'll depict the color and the rarity of the mod. And then the 6 dots will either be 1 to 6 dots on here. So E is gray, We go down here. D is green. So 5D, 6D, that's the difference between them. Then we go to blue over here. So C mods are blue. So we have 6E, or 5C mods over here. So blue. And then B is purple. So you have purple mods or B mods. Then A is gold. So gold is either A mods, so 15A, or gold mods. So don't confuse gold with 6 dots, because if you look here, yeah, at these, so look at this. This is a gold mod where it's 6A, but we have a mod over here, and this is over here. So this is 5A. So they're both gold, but I wouldn't call this, just because the mod itself has that gold sheen to it, we call those 6 dot mods, not gold mods. So the gold represents the tier, and that's A, B, C, D, E, or gray, green, blue, purple, gold. And that's how we refer to the mods and the colors in their tiers. All right, so let's go into the shapes of the mods. All right, so mod shapes, restart to default. Filter the mods here. All right, so if we have our arrows here, arrows primary function you want is speed primary. So the majority of the arrow mods you're going to have in your account are these speed mods. It's because they're easy to get, they're guaranteed to be 30 speed, and you just have to try to get the best secondary stats that you want. Usually you want percent stats, and then flat offense is also okay. So for this one, for SOKR, the crit chance is actually a waste because he doesn't care about crit chance, but the health, the offense, and flat offense, excellent stats for SOKR. He doesn't need potency. I would say ideally, yeah, maybe some protection percent or something. It's really not a big deal as far as what you want on SLKR, because you want offense, you want health, and you want speed. So even like flat speed here or flat health probably would have been okay, but essentially that's what you're looking for arrows, is this speed. You can still have non-speed arrows like this one on the bottom. So this is a health one with crit avoidance on it. Crit avoidance allows you a chance to not be crit hit, and when you crit, it can hit, depending on what their crit damage percentage is, it multiplies that damage by that much. But if you have crit avoidance, then that gives our crew a 35% chance, where if he would be crit, he doesn't get crit. So there's other primaries here that are important. So for speed arrows, the ones you want to avoid are accuracy percent and defense percent. So if we filter these mods, I do have some in my account, just because like these have high speed, and you never know when you want some accuracy. These are like relic old ones when I was just inflating my GP, so that's why I have some. I kept these just because they have okay speed, and you never know when you need a defense primary and it has a health set. So, you know, maybe it could be useful, maybe it won't, but that's why I have them. Honestly, I sell them, so all these I will sell. This one, since it has accuracy percent and it's health percent, maybe I'll roll that to level 12 just to see if it hits like 5 hits on speed. Maybe I'll save that just in case I need some accuracy. You never know. You can use it in the crate raid. Sometimes it's useful to have some accuracy mods just laying around just in case. Some people like them on JMK. Personally, I don't prescribe to them, but let's say it hits like a 29 or 28 speed just right off the bat on this mod, then, hey, maybe I would use it for JMK. Not the biggest deal in the world, but if it's free because it's already gold, it's already free. I can see what the secondary stats are. If I hit it and roll and it rolls wonderfully, then hey, I'll keep it in my account. But otherwise, I don't slice these, and we'll go over slicing later on. But I won't slice these. I won't work them. But they're unimportant as far as arrows are. And like I said, arrow primaries, you're looking for speed. As far as secondaries, though, it depends on the mod set. So if you're looking for like potency, speed, I would say crit chance, crit damage, also health, you want primarily maybe offense percent, speed. Sometimes protection percent is good, or health percent can be useful for these sets as well. But the big ones for these, probably offense. So if we filter the mods here, I would want, so for these, I can find homes for them. Like for Star Killer, he has offense percent with decent decent speed substats. That's what I want. I want Star Killer to be hit hard, and I want him to be fast. So there's reasons to have like offense with offense percent. Health is pretty universal. So if you have health with protection percent, health percent, or something like that, that's really useful. But otherwise, for the most part, those are the ones that I'm looking for. Protection percent, health percent, offense percent for the arrows are really useful. The other ones like crit avoidance can be pretty niche, but can be useful. Protection percent, especially with a speed set, is really good. You do need a set for when you start doing the Inquisitors, for just to, if you can have that makes it a lot easier if you have some good protection percent, just because they do health percent damage. So there's a lot of reasons that you would want to have like an offense percent or some protection percent or health percent, because it just makes the characters a lot survivable. And if it only costs you like 5 speed or 3 speed, having an extra like 16% health or 24% protection or 8.5% offense is really good as far as what you're looking for. Generally, if it's an offense based one, so like offense, crit damage, crit chance, potency, I wouldn't want things like crit avoidance, accuracy percent, defense percent. I don't want accuracy percent or defense percent at all. But if you're working with all these different things, then maybe health and defense sets and tenacity set, maybe even speed set, then you're looking for, as far as defensive ones, then something like these are fine, where you're looking for crit avoidance, health percent, protection percent. That's perfectly fine for these kind of sets because they're more defensive in nature. But I would say for every single set, having ones that have health percent, protection percent is perfectly fine. There's a lot of times where like you need survivability to survive, and having the option of having those is worth it. So it's not bad to have some of these health percent or protection percent primaries for all these sets if you work them. So there's no set here where I would look at a protection percent primary, and if it had high secondary stats, where I'd be like, this is a useless mod. You can find a use for it. There's a lot of characters that need some survivability or would love some more survivability, but also want some offensive stats. And health percent on health mods on these arrows are wonderful. You need them for specific characters, because a lot of characters that want health go all in on health. So like Grievous, Malgus, Wampa, Old Daka, Varus over here. There's some more. C, I just don't have C in my account. So C is another one of those characters. So of course you still want the high speed secondaries. Not all of them require require it, but for the most part, you do want all high-speed secondaries, but you want that in your account as far as arrows. So again, to summarize, like, hey, for the most part, you want speed arrows, like 30 speed arrows, but also as far as these stats, you want percent stats. Percent stats is ideal for what you're looking for, or speed. Speed is king, of course. If you're working for something that's a high, not a speed primary, then you're looking for, of course, speed substats because the standards stay the same, but you don't want this flat stats. You don't want flat protection. You don't want flat defense. You want percentage stats. So you want offense percent, health percent, protection percent, defense percent, potency, whatever you're looking for. You want those percentage stats, and the more percentage stats that you get on these secondary mods, the better the overall the mod is. All right, so let's start looking at we're going to continue on the right side because the right side and the left side of these mods are the right side of the mods are more similar and the left side of the mods are more similar. All right, so let's start looking at triangles. So triangles, they have a different type of primaries. So pretty much each shape of these mods have different primaries. So if you see right here, when I say primary, it's this top stat, and it's a large amount usually compared to what you can get on these secondary stats over here. So that's why for this arrow, it's the most speed that you can get reliably for every single one of your characters that want speed is those arrows. Like, they're super easy to get, and that's why I said the speed arrow primaries are very easy to get, but they're very important. So and also when you and we'll go over that later. So for this triangles, primarily with triangles, of course it depends on the characters. Some characters could want health percent, protection percent. Some, believe it or not, want crit chance, crit damage. These are the main ones, and then some offense. So these are the main stats that you're looking for when you're dealing with triangles. Crit damage is I would say probably the most important one, because you would think like, oh, I can just put offense percent in there, but it's not the same. You can get 8.5% offense, or you can get up to 42% crit damage, and that's a lot of damage. So most damage characters want crit damage triangles. There are some situations where their crit chance is just so low that it's better to put an offense percent. An example for that would be like Grandmaster Yoda. Grandmaster Yoda has really low crit chance, but he does a lot of special damage. So if you give him just tons of offense, he can hit really hard even without critting. But for the most part, crit damage is the key. So even a character like General Grievous, where you have a health primary, a health circle, a health cross, and you have all health sets, you would still give him a crit damage triangle, because crit damage is the most potential of increasing the damage for attackers. So even though you're ramping his health, you want as much health because his damage is based on health, it's still better than having a 16% health triangle. It's still better to have a crit damage triangle to increase that damage, because that crit damage triangle is the best one for damage dealers. As far as the more defensive stats, if you go with health percent, protection percent, those are always solid. A lot of characters want more survivability, and if you still, of course, when you're working here, you're still like, speed is king. Speed is absolutely king for all these, every single one. So I'm just not gonna cover that anymore. So for squares, diamonds, circles, crosses, triangles, you want speed. Like that's just the name of the game. You need as much speed as you want for the majority of these characters. There are some characters that don't need it or don't want it as much, but 99.9% of the time, speed is king. So the primaries that we're looking for, as we can see, So crit damage, crit damage, crit damage. And then this is just a really fast mod. It's 28. That's why it's crit chance. But sometimes for these characters too, the primary doesn't matter. Some characters just want speed. So that's why. But if you have a health percent, protection percent, crit damage, those three, you can find a home for them somewhere, especially if they have high speed substats. Those are the primary triangles that you're looking for. But crit chance is not bad. Not bad at all. What you want to avoid is these other ones. So defense percent, like, yeah, you can work defense percent. So if it's a gold mod and you can or maybe a purple and you roll up the speed, then yeah, go ahead and roll it and see what it can be, because it could still be a speed mod on the triangle or the cross. But for the most part, I'm not going to slice those. And we'll go over slicing later, but I'm not going to create those or put investment into those, because the primary is not good. Because if you like, defense sets are very good. Defense sets are wonderful. If you're just looking for how survivable a character can be, it's defense primary, or defense sets are the best sets overall, just to make a character more survivable. It's better than health, but and especially with when you're dealing with protection, it just gives them more survivability. But defense primaries, it's better to have a primary of health or protection than to have a primary of defense, and it just doesn't translate as well. So if you have health or protection primaries, then a character is going to be more survivable than if you have a defense primary, because the defense primary triangles and crosses just aren't as good. So again, you can work them if it's for free, pretty much just credits. Credits come and go. They're very easy, but I wouldn't be slicing them and working them. If they don't hit really high speed substats, then just sell them. Sell them, get rid of them. But primarily with these triangles, crit damage is king. Like, offense is good, health and protection are great because a lot of characters just need survivability, especially health. But like, as far as like, you can have crit chance here, like some characters just need crit chance. Soldier, the Geo soldier needs crit chance. The Mandalorian, he needs crit chance. So there's just some characters that need crit chance. And also, if it's just a high speed secondary and it's an offensive set, like, crit chance is okay. If it's a character that you're trying to deal damage with, you need a crit damage triangle, but crit chance can be used. They're worth farming. It's good to have some depth of crit chance into your account, so don't ignore them, but I wouldn't specifically be farming for them. The crit damage ones are just the best as far as triangles or health and protection. All right, so let's go over crosses. So crosses, they have a different type of primaries that you can have, and it's different than any other set. There are some that's the same. So for triangles, that's the only place where you can get crit chance, crit damage, but for the crosses, it's the only place you can get potency, tenacity. You can also get protection percent, health percent, offense percent, or defense percent. So for these triangles, these are the sets that you can get. The ones that I wouldn't get is defense percent. I wouldn't farm these. If you have them for free, like I said, go ahead and level them up, see what speed secondaries they hit. If it's a good speed mod, like if you hit 28, 29 speed on a cross, that's an excellent mod. It doesn't matter what else. It could have all flat stats and it can have defense primary. I'm still going to find a home for it with like an Imperial Troopers or something, for a character that just cares about speed. So you can always find a home for something like that, but you don't want to like specifically be working for it because it's like crap. And same thing if you're looking at like crit damage, crit chance, potency. There's some exceptions with tenacity here, but you want to try to stay away from these type of things with that. Like there's always an ability to use like protection percent or health percent on these mods. So it's not ideal, right, to have health percent or protection percent on the more offensive ones like crit damage, crit chance, offense, because usually you're going to want something like offense percent and on the cross, and then you're going to want crit damage on the triangle. But there's sometimes when you just need to get more survivability on your offensive characters, and you don't want to go all in on the sets. You still want them to do damage, so you may go with like a crit damage set. But if you can get like health percent or protection percent, you can find a home for that somewhere. Like those survivability stats are useful for every character because every character has to survive. So you could always find a home. So I don't avoid them. I still farm health percent and protection percent on all these. But specifically on tenacity, I don't look for tenacity on anything pretty much like a tenacity set. Sometimes you could do it for speed set. There's some characters that want tenacity primary with a speed set, like let's say Jabba maybe, or Jolie, for different reasons. So there's like niche cases for a lot of these things, and I don't want to go over niche cases, but for the most part, you don't want like tenacity is the main one that you want a tenacity main stat for, that because tenacity is more of like an all or nothing stat. So when you're building these stats, like that's what you want, is like a all or nothing for tenacity. All right, so for potency, you want to potency primary, because if you're farming potency usually, or if you're putting a potency set on there, usually you want a potency set. There are exceptions, like for Bush Leia, she wants an offense primary because she has a really high potency anyways, or for JML you want a potency set, but you would want protection percent on him too as the primary. So that's why I said that, hey, if you have health, offense, like all these on all not potency, but if you have health, offense, protection, you can find a home for them on any of these stats. Like absolutely any of these can find a home for triangles for health, offense, protection, and that's pretty universal. For potency, like, hey, farm potency on potency primaries, farm tenacity on tenacity primaries. If you want, you can have a speed set with potency, tenacity, protection, offense, and health, because the speed set is kind of like the most used set. So it really varies. There's so many characters. If you have one of these primaries on them, you can find a home for them with speed. But offense ones, you want primarily offense percent, but you can also farm health and protection. So it seems kind of convoluted, but there's a lot of things you can do with it as far as the cross. So again, like defensive sets, always useful as far as health percent and protection percent. Defense percent is garbage. Tenacity and potency, like potency, you can farm with some of these too. Like as far as like offense potency, because some of these offensive attackers, you need potency on them, like Mace, or well, Mace is a tank, but he's a stat hungry, so you may be putting like a potency set on him, or there's a lot of different ways you can mod him. Or like a crit damage, crit chance, you want it on a Jedi Knight Anakin. Everyone wants a Jedi Knight Anakin, so you're going to need a potency primary form. So there's a lot of reasons why you would use offensive primaries with offense percent potency or health percent protection, or these defensive sets. Like, you don't strictly have to stay away from the offense percent either, because there's like offense and defensive mods are used on all different kinds of characters. So if you have an offense percent with health and defense sets, it's still useful. Same thing, like, but health percent, protection percent are ideal for these. And then you want to stick primarily tenacity with like tenacity or health. So yeah, so let's go ahead and start looking at the left side of the mods. So the left side of the mods, first of all, I'm just going to cover the square, the diamond, and the circle. So the square is always going to be an offense primary. The defense is always, or the diamond is always going to be a defense primary. And then the circle is always going to be health or protection. So it's only two, a variance of health primary or protection primary. So for the square, just look for, like, for these, it's you're looking for, it's always, since it's always the same, you're always looking for secondary stats that complement the set. So with speed is pretty universal for all these. So if you have a speed set, if it's primarily defense stats, then you can find a home for it. If it's primarily offense stats, you can find a home for it. If it's a mix, you can find, believe it or not, you can find a home for it. The biggest thing you're looking for is speed substats. Like that for these speed substats. So for some things like tenacity, you're looking for tenacity percent. For potency, you're looking for some potency. But essentially, like health and defense mods, you want to try to aim for some like health or protection. But essentially, you're just looking for percent base stats, and then you're looking for speed secondary stats. That's the most protection. That's the most important part. Health and protection, you can farm both. Like, they're both good. They're both needed for different characters. Some characters have more health. Some characters have more protection. Some characters you mod for more protection to stop health percent base damage or to minimize it. Some characters you mod for more health because they have abilities that are affected by health, like protection up, or health percent base damage, like Malgus. So there's a lot of different reasons why you would want all of them. But ideally, you are looking for high speed stats, high speed substats with good percent based stats. And that's the left side. There's not much more that goes into it. How I explained the crosses and the triangles, it kind of applies to the left side too. But ideally, if you have like some defensive stats on an offensive base mod, you could probably still find a home for it as long as it has decent speed secondaries. It really depends. You just gotta farm a lot of mods, and you gotta try to get as many as you can. All right, so that's the primaries and the secondaries for all these specific mods. So now let's jump into how you farm your mods and how you farm slicing materials. And I'm going to go over this just very, very quickly because I have a whole other guide on it. But essentially, when you go to here, you go to mod challenges and mod battles. So mod challenges, you want to farm specifically over here with speed tier 3 as soon as possible, because this is where you get your 5 mods. These speed tier 1 and 2, they're gonna provide you with 2, 3, 4 or 1, 2, 3 mods, and these are garbage mods. You're never gonna mess with those. All right, so let's look at mod battles. So as you're playing the game and you're leveling up, you're gonna, at level 50, you unlock this, and then as you go and continue to level up, you're gonna start unlocking all these. You just have to work through it. If you buy the Lightspeed bundle, or I'm sorry, if you buy the Hyperdrive bundle, you're gonna blast through all this, and you're gonna be able to start farming slicing materials pretty much right away. But otherwise, you just have to beat these as fast as you can to try to get to level 9, and then you start farming these materials for slicing materials. And just like real quick, because again, I have another mod guide on this. These are the slicing materials that you use, that you get, and then you get some micro attenuators to get some other material to for calibrating. But that's where you get slicing material, is this one. And again, like, I have another guide on more in depth on this, but this is where you get the slicing material. The mod challenges are where you get your mods. So you should only be using your mod energy on mod battles on that 9th tier for the slicing materials, or mod challenges on the tier 3 to get 5 mods ideally. Also in the shipments, you can farm, you can buy these mods in here. Ideally, you don't want, like, ideally you want to get mods that like have high speed secondaries and tenacity and or high speed secondaries is what you're looking for. So a mod like this, a square, it has defense, tenacity, speed on a tenacity set, so decent speed and tenacity. That's a good mod. I'll go ahead and buy this. So yeah, that's what you're looking for as far as mods are. If you are a player that is new or mid game or early game, ideally you want to save your credits and your fleet credits for leveling up your characters and working your mods, because you're not going to have the bandwidth to invest credits. Once you start going into late to end game, you're going to have excess amount of credits and ship materials, because you're only leveling up the new characters and your roster is already established. So you're going to have these excess credits. So if you're in the hundreds to millions to close to billions, you really should be living in this and buying as much mods as you can. I would say if you invest in like the gold and the purple mods, that's best for trying to get what you want. But if you're like absolutely have billions, then and you want to buy these other ones, then go ahead, do whatever you want. But this is a good place to get mods that have the right sets and the right primaries, and also the speed substats and secondary stats that you're looking for. So that's what you do as far as with buying mods, but that's again later on. All right, so we kind of covered it, but let's go over sets. So health mods will give you 10% health for the mods. So if you see here, level 15 set bonus, 10%, and then you're going to require 2 of these. So there's mods that require a set of 2, and there's mods that require a set of 4. So the ones that require a set of 2 are health mods, defense mods, crit chance mods, tenacity mods, and potency mods. The mods that require a set of 4 to activate that bonus are crit damage mods, offense mods, and speed mods. So for whatever reason, they made the defensive mods, because like I said, even for the secondary stats, like everyone needs survivability. They all characters have to survive. But as far as most defensive characters, you can mix and match too. So you can go 3 sets of 2, because you have 6 mods. So if you want all survivability, you can have 6 health mods, and that would activate 3 health mods. So you would get plus 30% speed, or I'm sorry, plus 30% health, or defense mods. So if we go into defense here, possible rewards, 5 dot, level 15 set bonus gives you 25% defense. So that's a good, this is a good set. As long as you have level 15 in 2 of these, then you can get 25% defense. If you have 4, you would get 50. If you have 6, you'd get 75% defense. So it's additive. So these 2 sets, you can continue to add them. Crit damage sets. So here, 30% crit damage for a set of 4. There are some characters that want crit damage sets. There's some characters that want offense sets. Most new characters lately have been wanting offense sets, so I've been farming primarily speed and offense sets with some other secondary sets. But it's good to have a mix of both. I would say if you're very, very new to the game, or you're trying to like rebuild your mods from scratch, then focus on offense sets and speed sets, and then maybe like health sets or something as for the 2 set bonus, because every offensive character can benefit from offense. Not every offensive character would benefit from crit damage. So if you're trying to min-max your characters, yeah, absolutely you should have crit damage sets, because crit damage sets, there's some characters that just want that, like a Jedi Knight Anakin benefits from a crit damage set. The Mandalorian, there's a bunch. I can't name because there's hundreds of characters. But like essentially you want both. But if you're trying to build up a lot of mods into your account and just focus primarily on building good speed substats and getting the stats you need, and you are kind of like establish yourself with mods, go ahead and get farm offense mods and speed mods, but you can again farm crit damage mods. All right, so crit chance. So this is one of those 2 sets that you need. So for a level 15 set bonus, you get 8% crit chance for this set. So there's some characters that if you have a crit damage set, you're gonna want to pair it with like a crit chance set so that you can get the max benefit from both. All right, tenacity mods. So most characters are kind of all in on tenacity. There are some characters like CLS, Jabba, 3PO, Chupio. Some people mod Malik for all tenacity, or Chewbacca should be all tenacity. But there's some character, Emphas Nest needs all tenacity. But there's some characters that just don't need, or that you want to go all in on tenacity. So you would get 6 of these tenacity mods so that they can have plus 60% tenacity, because it's like an all or nothing set for tenacity. So for that, like it's a good set, but in the way tenacity works is so characters have potency. So when they try to apply a debuff on them, the character that's applying the defense has potency on it. And let's say easy stats, a character has 100% potency and a defensive character has 100% tenacity, then there's no chance for that debuff to apply. But let's say you had 150% tenacity and they had, or 150% potency and 100% tenacity, then there's a chance that can apply. There's always a 15% chance that the debuff is just going to resist. So it's not like, oh, I have 150% tenacity and you have 100% potency, because there's a 15% chance that you just resist that debuff. So it would probably be closer to what, 35% chance that you would apply that debuff. Because it's never 100% unless the actual wording on it says it can't be resisted. But there's also those that are immune to effects. So if you're immune, then even if it's unresistible, it won't apply. So there's a lot of like ways things are phrased that you have to look in and read the kits. But essentially that's tenacity, and that's why it's an all or nothing thing. Because if you don't want debuffs on a character, it's usually because they're soloing, and if they get debuffed, you lose. So that's why you go all in on tenacity, so that they resist all debuffs and they can function the way that they are. But that's tenacity. All right, so offense mods. I went over offense before a lot in this. You get 15% offense. It's a pretty universal set. A lot of characters want offense. You do more damage based on having more percent offense. There's some characters that don't, like General Grievous, but that's an exception to the rule, not the rule. So this is a pretty universal set. So if you're going to farm only 3 sets, which are, I would say, is like the absolute minimum you would need, you could mod every single one of your characters. It may not be ideal, but you could do it. If you farm speed sets, offense sets, and health sets, then you could farm you can mod every single character in the game with those 3 sets. Again, may not be ideal, but you can do it. But offense sets, you should always be farming sets of these. They're very useful. You do need 4 of them to activate it. A lot of your characters are going to need them, so don't sleep on the offense sets. So potency is useful. So you'll get 15% for a set bonus. Some characters need to apply debuffs, so like Mara Jade, Bush Leia, JML, and Jedi Anakin needs potency, but he doesn't use a potency set. But applying debuffs is a very important skill. So Bastila, the light side one, Old Ben, there's tons of characters that just want to put debuffs on the enemy. So and that allows you to control them or put health down or whatever but it's very important that you have some of these in your account, because a lot of times you're going to pair them with like speed and potency, so they're fast, but also they can land their debuffs. So you're going to need these sets into your account so that your characters actually land their debuffs. Because if you're wondering, like, why does my character never land their debuffs? It says that they're going to apply all these things, but they never apply. Chances are you don't have enough potency in your account. And potency, believe it or not, like secondary substats are very important for it. Secondary substats, it really adds up over time. So if you have like a speed set with potency substats on it with good speed substats, those are great mods. Same thing like potency sets with good speed substats and potency percent, or that potency triangle, or I'm sorry, potency cross, then also very great and important. So you want to have good amounts of potency substats for characters that need potency, because you're trying to combat tenacity in those characters that have like tons of tenacity, or just like some characters have like high base tenacity. So you need a good amount of potency for those characters that it's really important that you land your debuffs on. And then speed. Speed is king. Speed is the most important stat in the game. Like, speed determines great mods from poor mods. If you look at like all the primaries and secondary stats, that's like how you min-max the characters. But if you have just excellent speeds secondaries and all your characters, chances are you're going to have a huge advantage, because your characters are going to go first. You're going to apply the debuffs. It changes up a lot of matchups if you can go first or not. So having high speed substats and farming speed sets should be your number one goal. No matter where you are in the game. If you're late game, if you're beginner game, like, you need to be farming speed sets and you need to be earning some high speed secondaries in your account. Speed is just absolutely king. There's a reason that the speed substat is gold. There's a reason why speed primary should be the primary arrow that you're looking for. But again, you can farm other ones because it's useful to have them in your account. But ideally, you want speed on your characters. It's very important. An example would be like Imperial Troopers. Imperial Troopers, if they go first, even if you're like 1 speed ahead of the enemy, then you can kill them without taking a turn. But if the enemy goes first, chances are you're going to lose, because they're really like glass cannons and they're just going to die. Like, speed is absolutely king. And if you have characters that are acting with like very slow speed, that they're not designed for that, then you're just not going to perform with those characters the way that you want to. Like, speed is very important into this game. So don't ignore your speed. All right, so those are this actual sets for mods. So let's just go real quick on slicing, and I just want to cover this topic really quickly, because it's very similar for all of them. So if we go and again, like, you can see these mod filters in another guide, but let's say I want to work grades. So I have this 15 mod here. If I enhance it, see that red thing? That means I can slice it, but I need these slicing materials. So if I slice it one time, it has a 25% chance of landing on speed, on tenacity, on defense, or protection. And you can see the variance here. So if it hits speed, it could go anywhere from 3 to 6 for speed. So if it hits a hit is if it lands on that and it increases that. So as you can see here on the left side in the parentheses next to what the stat is, it has a number. So if this was a 2, that would mean I have 2 hits on speed here. Or if it was a 3, I would have 3 bars here, and then they would have values. And then 4 or 5. The most you can have for a secondary is 5 substats in one. So if I have 5 substats on speed and they're all 3 and it's a 5 dot mod, then it's only going to be 15 speed, and then I could only increase that speed if I make it into a 6 dot. Then I would get +1 speed, so it would be the fastest that mod could ever be, would be 16. But if I have all 6, theoretically, if you bought a mod or you found a mod that has 6 speed and they're all 6, then you could have a 31 speed mod. But those are extremely rare. Even plus 30 mods are extremely rare. So I've only seen a few of them in this game. They're like statistical anomalies because the likelihood of hitting the threshold of 6 is really rare. So having not only all 5 hits on speed, but all 6 other than the 5 here is extremely rare. So don't feel bad. It's hard to build these speed substats. I do have a guide, mod guides that cover more on the theory of building high speed substats. So I'm not going to cover that here. So please watch that mod, and it covers over how you can have plus 25 speeds in your mods. But again, like, not going to cover that here. So if I would slice this mod, then it would turn into a green mod here. So from tier E gold into tier D green. So let's look at my green mods. So when you start working green mods, so as you can see, it starts getting more expensive, and you start using different materials for farming those mods. So as you can see here, I have an 8 speed, so it hit 37.2% average slice quality, and the slice quality determines how much actual stats of this variance, because like I said before, it could be like crit chance, it could be 1.13% or 2.25% here. So I have 2 4s on here, so 8, it's an 8 speed mod. If I would slice it one more time and it hits blue, then potentially it could be a 14 speed mod, or a 13, or a 12, or 11, depending on the quality of if I hit 3 to 6 speed on there. As you can see here, that 2 in the parentheses determines how many hits I have, and then I have 1 on the rest. And then if I would slice this again, it would go to blue mods. So I have this blue mod here. This is a crap mod, so please don't pay attention to the quality of this mod. It's absolute garbage. But as you can see, it starts getting more expensive, and it starts using a different quality of a different type of slicing material. And then if I slice it, so it has 2 in parentheses for here, 6 speed for speed, because it hit twice and it has really low slice quality on it, so absolute garbage slice quality on it. And then it hit on potency. So this is a crap mod. I'm never going to slice it. I'll probably sell it. Here, let me sell it right now, because it's just an absolute garbage mod. But like, as you can see here, like, this is a good mod. Like, health percent, you could always use it. It has percent slices on it. Has nice 9 speed. It's not great. I'm not going to slice it because it's not exactly what I'm looking for, but it has maybe potential if you really wanted to. Maybe you can slice it, because it has the potential of being 15 speed, and then if you hit it again, it could be 21 speed, and then you hit it again, it could be 27 speed. So this mod still has the potential of hitting 28 speed if it hit all 6s, because you get 1 extra speed from gold. So it's still workable. And again, I'm not covering the quality of the speeds or anything, but that's what a blue is it has 4 hits on some, or up to 2 additional hits. So it could be speed on here or whatever else, but you're looking for speed ideally at this point. And then you go to purple, and you're gonna have 3 hits here. So if you look at a purple mod here, so it has 10 because it has like a 4 and a 5, or a 6 and a 3 or something, just 2 combinations of 10. And then as you can see here, it hit once on speed, once more on crit chance, and once more on protection. So that's why each of these have 3. Ideally, you want all of them in protection when you're going into the 5 dots, because the 5 dot mods is what you're trying to build some speed secondary substats. And then you see here, like, it's progressively getting more expensive. So now I need 35 of these and 15 of these, which I needed 25 of the prior tier. So you can run out of these really quickly. So I needed 25 in the prior tier. Now I need 15 here. So it really adds up. then that's why you have to be selective as you're slicing these mods and you're trying to increase the speed secondary stats or the other stats on them, is because progressively they get more and more expensive. They do also cost credits, but the credits for slicing isn't a big deal. The limiting bottleneck here is going to be these slicing materials. And then if you slice it once more, you're going to have a 5 A mod or a gold mod here. So if you look at, I don't want to look at these absolute garbage ones. So if you look here, so this one, so it has 3 hits on it and it has 14 speed. This hits my standard, so I can take it to 6 dot. It has offense percent on it, protection percent, decent speed. So this would be something, maybe I would want to take it to 6 dot if I was looking to like work this mod, because it has the potential. But with the gold, you're essentially going to have so four hits on something. So at this point, you could fully max out one of these if you have good RNG. It could potentially have all the hits on speed, but it's usually going to be spread around because it's a 25% chance to hit any of these. But once you start going into 6 dot mods, that's when you start having the potential. So as you can see, I have a lot more. So I have 10 hits on here because I have 5 on 5 dot mods, on 5 on 6 dot mods. So that's why I have more hits here. So potentially you can max out 2 of these if you have good RNG on what you're looking for. So that's slicing. Essentially for the 6 dot, it goes into the same thing. So you have E mods, so you can, and these are really cheap. Like it only costs 10 of these materials. So usually these are all pilot mods right here. So they're not good mods. So yeah, so these are just garbage pilot mods. But then as you go to the green ones, they have like, these are ones that just like aren't good, more pilot mods. And then blue. So at each, just like the 5 dot mods, you have the 6 dot mods have the same thing where you're just slicing them, and they have another chance of hitting a secondary stat. So and I'm not going to cover over my mod theory. You're going to have to watch my mod theory on that one, but essentially it gives you more opportunities to work mods. And then if you go here to enhance, you start going into calibrations. So calibrations, you can take a mod and you can use these micro attenuators and take a hit from somewhere else. So I can take this flat protection, because I don't want flat protection because flat stats aren't good, and I can calibrate it, and it has a chance of hitting, but it could also land back again in flat protection. So it's just a re-roll. So you're just rolling the dice, and it has a 25% chance to hit speed, a 25% hit to hit crit chance, a 25% to hit offense, or a 25% to hit protection. But what it's doing is it's giving you more opportunities to build really high speed secondaries, because you have 10 chances to hit speed, and then you have up to 6 calibrations to hit speed. Personally, I don't calibrate a mod more than 2 times, and I usually calibrate it here when they're blue. Sometimes I'll calibrate them when they hit gold, just because they have excellent speed substats, or they're for like a GL, and I know I'm going to take that mod all the way up to gold, so I'll continue working it because I want all those substats anyways, and then I'll like take the lesser substats that I don't want, and I'll try to recalibrate them for whatever's usually speed. So I save most of my calibrations just so I can try to hit speed. There's some other ones where maybe you want like offense or something else that you want to work on, and you're willing to calibrate that even if it has 5 hits on speeds. I would say don't calibrate mods here to try to re-roll the quality of mods, because it's random. When you calibrate a mod, it could calibrate any one of these. So I may want to calibrate this 3, but it may calibrate this 5. So I may like say like, oh, I'm going to recalibrate this so I can recalibrate this one that has a lower quality, but then it hits speed, which is only a 25% chance. And then out of that, I'm gonna have a 33% chance, or maybe a 100% chance, or depending on what I'm doing. If I have 5 hits here, then I'm only gonna have, you know, like a 20% chance to calibrate what I want. Or here it's a 33.3% chance to calibrate what I want. Or actually it's probably like 66% because I don't want to calibrate this one, but I'd be happy to like recalibrate those. But it's a waste. It's a waste is what I'm saying, because then I have a 25% chance to hit any of these. So it may not even hit speed. It may go from speed to offense or protection or crit chance, and I'm going to throw it away. But then even if I do hit that 25% back in speed, it could hit the one I want. So it's a 33% chance it would hit the recalibrate the high speed anyways. And then it could also just recalibrate lower or worse, and it's still a 3. So there's as you can see, the statistical likelihood that you're going to get what you want of hitting speed, hitting the low quality hit on speed, and then having that hit high speed, you start looking at the statistical likelihood of that happening is very low. And you're also like having a low chance of hitting speed. So don't waste your calibration materials, because once you start diving into like the percentages of everything happening perfectly and you getting a really high speed roll on something off of a low speed roll is just so statistically unlikely that it's not worth doing. So what is worth is using low cost, so the first or second calibrations for these where it's 15 or 25, and calibrating some flat stats and trying to hit speed. That is worth the effort, because you have a 25% chance of landing into speed. And then if you land anything into speed, even if it's +3, I would rather have an 18 speed mod than a 15 speed mod, and that benefits the mod. But you could, calibrate it and then it go and hit 21 speed, and then boom, I can try to take it up to 6A, which is 6 gold, and then I could hit a +27 speed. So I take this 15 speed mod, I recalibrate it, because the blue to purple and purple to gold is really expensive for 6 dots. So I'm not willing to take a 15 speed mod and to roll the chances. But this calibration material is very cheap, so I'm willing to, because it's only 15 of them, I'm willing to get another reroll there, see if I can increase my speed rolls, and if it hits a good speed roll and it hits like +20 or +21, then now we're working on a mod that I can work with. So just a little more expanding on slicing than I wanted to, but essentially that's how you work it. And now let's go over selling mods. So you should have this sell no speed. Once you work your mods, then you sell them. So of course, if you have opportunities here where not everything is revealed, you shouldn't work that then. So first you have to reveal your grays and work those, see what you're going to do. And I already covered that. And then you reveal your secondary, manage mods, select all, upgrade, reveal all secondaries. Once you've done that, you go here to sell no speed, and then you sell these that have no speed. Like this one, this is a garbage mod, that's a garbage mod, this is a garbage mod. It's already has all the secondary, or I know the set, I know the primary, and I know the secondaries, and those mods I will never use. Like they don't have any speed substats on them. They are garbage mods. I can just sell these, and there's nothing else for me to do with them. I know they're bad mods. But here, these have tenacity with tenacity. So tenacity mods with some hits on tenacity on them. Like you just need mods with tenacity. Some characters only care about tenacity, like Emphas Nest. So there's uses for this, or like Marin, you could want high tenacity on her because you just need her to survive, and then she's just going to take a million turns because she has like a bonus turn meter functionality. So there's some things on here where you want high tenacity where you don't care about the speed, but so that's why I have these saved. But otherwise, other mods where if they don't have speed on them on the substats, they're 100% a sell. 100%. As far as speed arrows here, so usually I'll go like one set at a time. and I'll say like, okay, I have one defensive mod. I don't need to reveal it. So if I need a defense set mod with this, I'll keep it here because I need it. For health ones, I have a ton of these, so I can start working them. So I already know these. If I was like looking on clearing these, I would just like level them up, see which ones have like flat stats. So like this one, flat protection, flat defense, maybe I would sell it. It's not that great. This one, yeah, you know, it's okay. This is okay. This one, not as good. Like some tenacity, flat health, flat offense. Honestly, like not great. I would sell this. 2 flat stats, health and protection. Not great. I would sell that. So what you're looking for is like percent stats, like protection percent, crit chance percent. Yeah, tenacity, protection. Yeah, that's good. So that's what you're looking for. Like this one, tenacity, defense, offense. Tenacity and protection are not that great. But that's what you're looking for. Like all these are not that great, and that's why they're kind of like not equipped on a character right now. It's just if I need some more. So you can look through and kind of filter them down. And I try to keep at least 4 primary arrows for each set as like just saved. So this one, like, you know, like I don't need all these crit damage ones. So if I wanted to clear out my space, I would just like sell this gold one, or this, I'm sorry, this gray one, or maybe this one, because it's like kind of crap with defense, protection, and offense. But it's already level 30, like, or level 15. I'll keep it for now because I'm not really like selling my mods right now. But this is how I go through and I just sell my excess ones. So if I have a lot of them, then I sell them. But you're primarily looking at the secondary stats and deciding what you need. So as you can see, I have like a lot of speed because I farm a lot of speed mods. I have a lot of these speed ones. So if I was looking for, or offense mods, sorry. So I have a lot of these offense ones. So if I was looking at like to clear some inventory space, I would absolutely go in here and start cutting these down until I had about like 4 of these. So honestly, for these grade ones, I don't even work them. I would just say, okay, here, like, I don't need this many offense speed mods. So I would just like sell all these, just because it's a lot more than I need for my account. So I just sell them without working them, because if I work them, then, you know, they may be good, they may be bad, but honestly, I just need the speed on them usually. And it's a waste of credits for me. You can reveal the substats if you want to see if it's worth selling, but I personally don't. And then that's how you do speed arrows. The rest of them, the rest of these, as far as what you're looking for, as for selling, when you go here and I like work my grays, usually I would have them all, I would sell grays as I'm going through and working them. So any gray that has like, and I reveal their secondary stats, if it has +3 speed or no speed, I sell it. And then the +4 or 5, I slice it into greens. And then I'll go into my greens, and then I'll sell anything that's like 5 speed or below. So I already have done this for last week, but anything that's like 5 speed or below, I sell, because I just don't want them in my account. They're not doing anything for me. These +7s or 8s or 9s or 10s or whatever, 10s and 9s, I'm going to slice. 7 and 8s I'll keep, just because maybe I have to like mod a character. As you go through and you start building more mods in your inventory, you may sell everything that doesn't have like +10 or maybe +12 or 11, whatever your standard is. As you build your account and you have a lot more mods, you start increasing the standard of what you sell. But like new players, you may like keep your +3s and +4s and +5s, because you need a mod like so many characters, and you need like hundreds of these mods that like, hey, +3, +4, +5 hits your standard and you're going to keep them. But once all your characters are modded and you're like, you need to clear this stuff out. You need to clear them. And I'll tell you why at the end. But essentially, like, you need to sell them. And same thing, I'll go through these and I'll look and see, and I'll sell anything that has under +5 speed, And as I work them, I start clearing them out, because as you can see, you can only have 500 unassigned mods, and I farm about like 210 mods a week, sometimes more, up to like 250 or 300. So I need the space. So every time I work my mods, I go in and I sell anything that's +5 or lower on these mods. So working purple. So same thing, I'll sell anything that's like +5 or lower. Like these, it's +3, +4, +5. I have them because, as you can see, they're level 1, and I haven't upgraded them to level 12. And every time you, like I said before, you like level 3, level 6, level 9. Like level 3 would reveal the secondaries, and then level 6, level 9, level 12 will give me some additional hits. So this +3 has the potential of just having 2, so it could be +6 on both, and then it turns into a 3 hits +15 mod. So it has that potential, so it's worth upgrading a level 3 on green or blue or purple or gold to see what's going to happen, because that's only one hit. Only one hit 3, but it has the potential to hit +6 4 more times. So that's a 25 speed mod, and then it hits one more +26. So these mods still have potential to be excellent mods, really good mods. You just have to work them and see. The statistical likelihood is, yeah, they're not going to, but you go through and you sell your purples, and then when you work your A's, you already know if it's crap, it's crap. Like I still have these 1A ones because I haven't worked my mods for this week, so they're just from this week. This accuracy mods one's crap. This tenacity mod one is crap. This health one could health has the potential to be excellent. This tenacity one with that I just bought has the potential to be excellent. So these 4 mods have these 3 mods have the potential to be excellent. This tenacity with a crit chance, our crit damage mod, has the potential to be a speed mod. So I would upgrade this one to 12 to see if it hits speed. And then if it does hit speed, then it has the potential to just be a mod with high speed secondaries. And then same thing for this accuracy one. Like I don't farm accuracy mods, but since it's already 5A, I'm going to take it up to level 12 and see what happens to it. If it's anything like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, maybe, I don't know, maybe even 15 plus. I would say maybe, I don't know what my limit is, maybe 17, 18 I would keep. Like 16, 17, 18, if it hits in that realm or higher, I would keep it. But anything lower than that, I'm just going to sell it because I'm not going to use it. But you know, it's always useful to have some accuracy arrows if it's free, like absolutely free. Yeah, just use the credits to see if it's good. Otherwise, like sell it like it's garbage. Then, and when I work my mod, or if you look at my mod filter guides, I cover why you would do that. 6.mods, and I can't emphasize this enough, never sell your 6.mods. Never, 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 never sell. I don't care if it has no speed on it. 6.mods have value in this game. 6.mods are useful for pilots. Yeah, obviously you want like speed on here. So obviously you want you want speed on here. You want high speed on your mods. Like you want mods that like have ridiculous speed. But even if it has 0 speed, you can shove that 0 speed 6.mod on a pilot and it makes the ship better, because the only thing that matters on the ship is the level. So of course you need level 15, but 6. Level 15, even at the lowest 6. Then it's going to give as much benefit as anything in the game will give it as far as mods concerned. So it doesn't matter for ships as far as it's like, if it's a 5.mod level 15, then it doesn't matter on the number / color. So it could be gray or gold. It's the same. Same thing for 6.mods for pilots. If it's 6.mods, it has to be level 15 because you sliced it. So if it's 6.mods, it could be gray, so E, or gold or A So it's going to give the same benefit. So those mods have value. Never sell them. Just place them on characters that like don't matter. Karth, T3, I don't know, like just your pilots that you never use on the ground. Like just put your 6-dot mods on them, and then you just increased the quality of their ship. So don't do that. Don't sell these. These aren't sellable. If you're ashamed of your mods, then you got to keep that shame for forever. You just keep it in your account. It's a memory of the time of when you didn't know what you were doing. But these mods are forever. You need 6-dot mods. You need a lot of them. You need them for your pilots. It's how you get like really high speeds reliably, because you have to work them. If you look at like how you get the material for that, just watch my mod energy and slicing guide. But essentially, you will never sell 6-dot mods. All right, so next we're gonna go over how you actually find mods for your characters. So before you start selling these mods, you may say like, oh, Captain Amazing, well, how do I know, how do I actually like place these mods on these characters? So I don't really build a filter for that. You can do it individually. So if I'm modding Jabba, personally, I would want speed and tenacity on them. And then I would go filter here. I would sort by speed, and then I would start working on them. So arrows, you kind of work those separately, but this tells me all the mods that I'm looking for. That's speed or tenacity. And then for GLs should have the best mods in your account, other than other characters that need to be fast, like Bad Batch Echo, Moff Gideon, Piet, Ahsoka Tano, Commander Ahsoka Tano, and Mara Jade. So those characters you don't really want, or Darth Revan. There's a lot of characters that you just don't want. You want your fastest speed mods on. So you don't want to be taking mods from those. But let's say I had like a Iden Versio or a Hux or something like that, and I was looking at Jabba, like I would take a mod from Chewbacca for Jabba. Personally I would. Like, Chewbacca is important, but essentially like your mod priority should be your GLs, and then your teams that counter GLs, and then you just filter the rest down based on the how good the teams are. So you should have like a hierarchy of what mods are important for who gets what mods. So your GLs should have your best mods on them. This isn't a great example because I'm trying to look for a bunch of different stats for Jabba. So he needs speed, he needs health, and he needs tenacity. So and health primaries. So it's hard to have everything you need for these characters. And I'm still building. Jabba's my latest GL, so I'm still building them. But essentially, let's say, let's go to another character. So I modded Jabba or whatever, and I was like, okay, well, I just modded Jabba, Rey, and SOKR like back to back because I'm remodding my account. They're my most important ones. And then, okay, let's mod by speed. Then it's like, okay, Revan, Piet, Mara Jade, Bush, Resistance Hero Finn, Hermit Yoda. Yeah, all important. So I would go through all these characters and be like, yes, I want all these fast. And then I start going to the slower ones. Like, okay, Jedi Knight Revan, what's his speed? 307, a little slow. Maybe I want him faster. And I would look. Like, okay, this mod's like pretty slow. So maybe I want I just made some mods, and I'm like, okay, filter unassigned mods. This is very important. So I'll go to like, and this is when I start working those characters that aren't really a priority, and I'm like filtering down. So when I'm modding my characters that are a priority, like Jabba or my GLs or my fastest characters, I have this box unselected, and I would filter mods, and I'm sorting by like, what are my fastest best mods here? And that's who's going to get my priority ones, are these characters. Once I start working my lower tier ones, and I'm like, okay, I'm not willing to steal from my best characters. So I'll go to unassigned mods, and then I'll start looking at like, okay, these ones are 14, 13, speeds. These are decent speed ones. If I had one that had a good health set here with decent secondaries here, then okay, I would equip that mod on this character and upgrade it. But let's say like let's mod one of my lesser characters here that probably needs a touch up. So that I haven't touched for a while. Let's go. Maybe Chopper. I don't know. Let's see. Let's say Chopper mods. I have no idea what his mods are. So let's go filter only unassigned mods. So I'm going to go to. I'll bring up my stuff. So swh.gg. I'm gonna bring this up. So I'm gonna search for characters, Chopper. I'm gonna click on him. I'm gonna go to best mods. And then so here, best mod set up for Chopper. And this is based off of Kyber. So for that, I'm going to look at, okay, he wants a health set and a speed set with all protection and speed. Okay. So now I know what I want to do for Chopper. So I keep that in mind. I'm looking for health and speed set with all protection primaries. So I'm going to go to filter here. I'm going to go health or speed and health with protection percent on that primary stat, filter mods. I'm going to sort by speed and let's see what I have available so I can upgrade Chopper. So speed, arrow there. Okay. So 13 speed. So this is a upgrade here. So yeah, why not? So I'll assign this here, remove that. Next, 13 speed. I don't have any mods that hit that criteria. This is actually a pretty decent one. Maybe I remodded him lately. And then here. So this one's 12. So if I filter this and I take off, let's just say like health or something. So health, speed, 6. So nothing here that I'm willing to do. So I don't have. Let's see if protection speed. Yeah, it's filtered by speed. All right, so how much is this? 9 speed? Okay, this is an upgrade. So I'll go ahead and upgrade this. And equip that, remove that. So I had other options, but I only want 2 health ones. This is the best health one I have here. So I don't have a speed one that I could change here. I don't have a good speed mod with protection primary here and I don't have another defensive mod here that I could have replaced for the cross. So that means I'm pretty much stuck on here. This needs to change to speed. It doesn't have to be a protection primary. It needs to be speed primary. So here, now I look at these and try to see for, okay, protection speed. So this is an excellent one for him. I'll take this for level 15. Health protection. Yeah, this is a great mod for Chopper. So assign that. So now I look here. So for these, I have to take off any primary stat for the left side. Like it still worked for protection primary on the circle here, but for this diamond here, 14 speed, I can go ahead and assign this. And then here, 9 speed. That's pretty much as good as it's going to get for him. So yeah, so if I go here and I look at his stats here, I could potentially change Chopper from being 246 to 277. And these are all my unassigned mods that were just hanging around. So that's what I could do. Yeah, I'll go ahead and confirm it. Boom. So that's how you go through and you remod your characters. So now I have a Chopper that's 277 speed. That's better than what it was. So let's look at another character. So let's go to like Captain Rex. So Captain Rex is pretty important here. So let's try to look at the Phoenix. Let's see if I can remod my Phoenix for what I have, because you don't want to just remod one of them. So even though he's like low gear, he's still important to this team, and I want him faster. So generally you want to remod your characters in the importance that you have them. Sooner or later, once he's once he's gear 12, I'm going to remod him, so he's not really like a priority for me. So again, I'm going to go to only unassigned mods. I'm going to bring up this. I'm going to go back to characters, go Rex, Captain Rex over here, go to best mods. All right, so same thing, health and speed. So this is fairly common. So crit damage, like I said, like if you want good damage, crit damage is going to be king for that. So a health set, he wants a little more survivability. So he's not looking for offense percent. He's looking for survivability. So you're looking for health, crit damage, health, health, speed, with speed in a health set. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll go speed and health set, only unassigned mods, and then filter here. So for this, I'm looking for crit damage. So let's go ahead and go with crit damage here. Sort by speed and see what I have. So 11 speed is the best I have here. So I'm gonna break up my sets that I have right now, because the fastest one I have is, and I can go either here. Yeah, so I have an option. So it's only a difference of one speed. So maybe I'll wait to do the crit damage one here, because I have the option of doing health or speed, because it's a difference of one speed. So I'm definitely going to change out this, but let's see what I have here. So remember that we wanted health percent. So yeah, 11 speed. So yeah, okay, health on health with 11. Maybe someday I'll steal this off him, I don't know. Yeah, that's probably the best here that we can do. So again, health. So let's go. So we have the option for both. So I just took off a health one. So maybe chances are I'm gonna want because I need more speed mods on him. So I'll go speed set here. So I'll change that. 5 speed here. So remember, for the diamonds and the squares, we have to go with no primary selected, because they're always going to have defense and offense. But let's look here. So 13 speed, yeah, that's good. So I want that because it's good. It has health percent, crit chance, all decent sets here. So I'll go ahead and assign that. So now I have 3 health here. So if I go here, I'm going to want to have a speed set here. So let's see what's the best here. So this is when you have to start going through and looking at like, okay, what are my options here? So because you're looking at the best mods overall. So that's 7 at 11. So a difference of 4. So let's see, 8, 9. Okay, so I may just have to settle for a 9 speed here, because yeah, like that one was 11, this one's 8. So the overall, the best I can do here is maybe 9. Let's see here, 11. Okay, so let's do this. So I can do potentially 11 here, because you got to keep your sets. So 11 here, and then I can go health here and 13 here. And overall, that's a benefit, because 11 and 13 is better than 9 and 13. So yeah, so let's go here, assign that there. And then this is just 30 speed. It doesn't really matter. And so now we know, okay, before we didn't know when we were working the rest, like, do I need a health set or a speed set? And now I need a speed set, because I'm keeping my health here, because those are the best that I can overall. So for this one, I'll have a, I need a crit damage speed set. So boom. So not crazy, but I'm starting to increase my survivability here, boosting up his health and boosting up his speed and crit damage. So I'll confirm that, boom. Like he's still low gear, that's why he's low speed. But now I'm increasing the overall speed of my characters. So now I did Chopper and Captain Rex. So let's look at Hera. So let's go over to my SWGOH. All right, so go to characters here. And I'm going to look at Hera. So Hera Syndulla, best mods, health and speed, protection, 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 speed. So if you notice, sometimes they're similar, and it's because they just want survivability. So, and like you gotta excuse my mods on these characters. I haven't touched them in a very long time. So yeah. So I'm gonna need a complete one here, and I'm gonna throw like a curveball here because they just need survivability and a defense set, since she has some defense ones here, and maybe I'm gonna start running out of health mods here. Like just survivability is what they're looking for essentially. There's no real like they need health for this. A lot of people have health because that's what they have of, but if you have like just a protection set, then actually speed and defense is probably the best because her kit doesn't have anything specifically that like calls out to health. So if you wanted to go and throw an audible in there and go with health and defense, you can do that as long as you understand the kits and know that like, hey, there's nothing in her kit that specifically calls out needing health. Then you can do that as well once you start understanding characters and what you need. But just defensibility, like I'm going to look at my all three of health, defense, and speed. So essentially, if it makes sense to keep a defense set on her, I will. But let's look at see what we have here. So first, I need to go only unassigned mods because I'm gearing my lower tier characters. I'm not going to take mods from anyone else. Health, defense, and speed. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to clear out bad mods that I can sell. And I have all these like 7, 8, 9, 10 plus mods that I need to place on my characters. Otherwise, I need to sell them. So that's what I'm doing here. All right, so let's go with a speed primary here. I'm probably going to keep it to a speed set just because like I want some variability and I need as much speed as I can. Defense here, yeah, sure. Let's see. Reveal all stats on this one. Yeah, so this is all defensive stats here. So defense, protection, health, protection. I'm happy with that. So let's go ahead and take this to level 15. Protection, that's what we need. We wanted protection on her. So this is some good luck here. So I'm gonna go ahead and assign that. So protection here, that's what we're looking for, right? So instead of speed, protection percent. So let's see what we have here. So right off the bat, I'm gonna say Hera's gonna have a health set because this is the only decent one I have here that has protection here. So I don't have the ability to have a good protection circle here. All right, so health, these are the best ones I have. I like this one. Has some health, flat protection, or offense, health percent, defense percent. Maybe this one. This one's decent. Yeah, I'll go with that one. So again, just trying to work through. So for the rest of these, they have to be, I'm going to take off the percent protection, and since I have 2 health already, I just need as best I can with what I have, or speed. So sort by speed. All right, 9. All right, so that's the best one I have for there. 9, that's the best one I have for there. And then here, let's see what I have for options. Health. Okay, this is the best I have for it. And it's just like, ideally you wanted protection, but I only have, you got to work with what you have. And for what I have left, I'm not willing to like take mods off another person. Like ideally in the future, maybe one day I'll want a protection cross there with decent substats. But like for right now, this is what I have. So I'm going to confirm it. And that's the best I could do. So I added 39 speed and a lot of survivability. And that's what I'm looking for. Like, I'm just working through these characters. So again, like, not the best mods, right? But I'm filling what I have with what I got. All right, so let's go with Sabine. She's definitely going to require a different modding than the rest of these, because she's like kind of the damage dealer. And the way that Phoenix works, like, their death by 1,000 paper cuts here. So Sabine adds the defense down, because she's going to be doing that with armor shreds. So she's very important in the team. I'm not here, this isn't a Phoenix guide, so I'm just like using them. So just generally I'm saying like what's my thought process for the mods. And then if you look, crit damage, crit chance. So crit damage, crit chance, crit damage, potency, protection, speed. Okay, so I'm probably not going to have these mods just hanging around. I can look and see, but chances are I'm just not going to have them. So I'm going to have to throw an audible in here and kind of like make my best guess on what I have, or for what I can. All right, so I have a little bit of here. I'll let it a little bit here. Let's see what they are and if they're worth like placing on here. So crit chance, okay. So I wanted crit damage. Let's work this one. So let's reveal the secondary stats here. Do I get speed on here? No. So just sell this because it's crap. So it's not what I need. It's not what I need. So I'm just gonna remember what I said, like, hey, if you have a speed set or an offense set, then that's kind of like ideally what you want. So I'm just gonna go, like, honestly, since I can't go crit chance, crit damage, I just want her to go fast. Like, if I can't have her doing as much damage as possible, let's look at offense. Let's see what offense sets I have for her. Offense and crit chance. So since I said, like, hey, with offense and crit chance, we can maybe mod for what we have. So let's see if we have a crit damage. And if I can find something different, good for, well, I don't, not for crit chance. Let's see. Health. In that one, do I have a crit damage? Okay, so here's a possibility here. So, like, this is probably the best I can find because I want crit damage on her. I wanted potency here, so that's what it said, potency. So let's see if we have a decent potency one and what's available. Okay, yeah, so this has some crit chance, some survivability, so I'll take that one, level it up. I'll put that on her. So now I can go for these four. I can go with a speed set or an offense set, depending on, let's do both and see what's the best options for what I have. So any primary stat, and this is how you kind of just mod with what the best of what you have. So we can see. So let's see. So it looks like maybe speed is what I'm going to have to go with here. 9, 9, okay. Kind of tied here. 10, 10, 9, okay. 12, 8. Okay, so I'll probably go with this is hard. This is hard. Yeah, I'll just go with an offense set because I want like, this is not, honestly, not great, but it is what it is. So I'll go offense here, offense there. They both, believe it or not, these are both good. Both good. Health. So I want potency. They both have potency. Crit chance is good. So defense, I'm probably going to go with that one. This one has some flat offense, but the other one has more potency and more crit chance and percent defense. So I'm going to go with this one, and it has protection on it. So yeah, I'll go with that. Move that. And then let's look at these. I'm going to go with speed primary. And I decided I'm going to go with that. So let's see what my options are here. Protection, offense, protection, defense, potency, offense, percent, protection. Yeah, this is the winner right here. So I'm not slicing it right now. But if I ever want to take her mods to 6 dot, yeah, I would take this one absolutely to 6 dot. Look, it has potency, offense protection, flat protection, defense. Like that's what I need on here. I would like percent protection on it, but you know, not bad. So if you look, I gave her a crit damage, potency, which she needs, protection and speed. I added some potency on here. And even though I took off the speed set on her, I was still able to increase the speed on her. So now she has more survivability on protection. She has more speed. She has a crit damage, which is important. She has more potency. So yeah, I'm pretty happy, and more damage here. So overall, like, you may think like, oh, you know, like not big changes, but this is pretty good. This is pretty good for like taking crap mods overall and getting her what she needs. This is definitely an improvement. So I'll go ahead and confirm that, and then boom, now she's remodded. Now the final one of the members, let's go with Kanan. So Kanan, go in here, look at his stuff. Let's look at what Kanan wants. What does Kanan want as far as modding? So if I go to characters here, Kanan, best mods. All right, health, protection, speed. Okay, so he does have some like some abilities where he gives like protection, bonus protection, which is based on health. I'm okay with like honestly having defense or health sets on them. So again, like with those, I haven't been farming defense up. So let's see what we have here. Again, only unassigned mods, because I'm not going to be ripping mods off people. But let's see what we have here. So I don't want that. I want speed. So is this speed on here? Yeah, health. Not the best. Has some protection, some health, a little potency, whatever. I'll probably keep that there. Now the rest we have to go protection percent. So what options do we have here? This is the best we have. What an absolute garbage mod that was on him. Again, you have to like realize I haven't modded these characters in years, so you know. But that's that. Let's see what mods we have other, like health percent maybe. Just because I don't have the options here. That's a garbage mod. So 8 mod with tenacity. Let's see any primary stat here. Go sort speed. So not ideal. So these are like my leftover mods, you know. So yeah, I'll just go with this here. Like it's some speed, tenacity. It's not ideal. You want like protection, but this is leftover mods, you know. The barrel, imagine a figurative barrel. My hand's all the way in that barrel and I'm reaching into the bottom of it, and that's what I'm doing with these mods. So I'm just trying to do the best with what I have. So protection percent here, go here. Like again, like these mods are like really bad. Like this is a character that's been sitting here languishing for a very long time. So I'll upgrade this one. Has plus protection percent, 12 speed. Put that on there. Filter. Oops. Any primary stat. So that one, go assign that. Then this one, 11. Yeah, sure, why not? Assign that, and then boom, I'm done there. Easy. So I increased his health to 72,000, his protection from 50 to 71,000. I increased his speed by a lot, up to 200. It doesn't matter. I don't care about these other stats like tenacities, whatever, like crit damage is whatever, potencies, whatever. But like for what I care about, like this is an improvement. So I improved now my Phoenix, my whole Phoenix squad of those 5 characters. I've increased their speeds with these leftover mods to work them. And that's what you have to do. Like, you take your GLs and your fastest characters, you give them the best, and then you kind of like work down and filter all these mods that you have in your account, and you start equipping them on these characters. And that's how you work your mods. And now that you've worked them, then you go in and you sell the ones that, if you've worked all your characters. And I just wanted to work a team. I'm not going to work my whole roster, but I showed you like, hey, I worked at my team, I went on swgoh.gg, I saw what they needed. Sometimes you have to do some audibles, and then just do the best with what you have, because we're not all perfect, right? And then you work through these characters to give them the best what they have for like your A, B, C, D, E character teams as you're working on, and then you just work from top to bottom to get them what they need. And once you do that and you've worked all your mods and you have these like crap mods, you sell them so that you have more space in your mod inventory, so that you can start working more mods. And then you keep doing that process over and over and over until you have mods on every character. And then you continue to build more mods so that you can get better mods on all your characters. Mods are a very difficult thing to do. It takes time. It takes months to years. You should be farming the material and mods every day. You don't have to work them every day. I work them weekly. If you want to, you can work them every 2 weeks. But you do have to like continue working your mods. Don't sleep on your mods. You gotta continue working on them. They're very, very important. It takes a long time, but you'll get there. Other than that, I do have more mods. Go ahead and mod guides. So look into my mod guides. If you enjoy this content, go ahead and like and subscribe. Otherwise, thanks for watching my video, and take care.